Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Gridiron Gals podcast. I am Reeta, the NFL chick.
And hey, everybody, it's Chelsea, aka Chelsea's right.
And of course, we have get we have gotten to week 5 of the NFL season. We're going to week 6 now. And so we're going to use this time early in the podcast to do a little bit of venting about our teams. I'm going to let Chels start first because, I started the show. So I'll let y'all start first about her Cowboys versus the 49ers on Sunday. And I'll follow up with the Ravens versus the Steelers. Chels, the floor is yours.
What are you talking about?
Would you like to
This
vent about your team and their performance on
who?
Sunday? Oh, you don't have
Heard
one in there?
Never
You
heard
don't
of.
have.
Never heard of. So I, you know what? This was surprisingly, I was not even nervous because I knew I did not think we were going to win that game. I also, but I thought we was going to show some pride and some dignity also. But I did not think that we would win that game. But I also did not predict the beat 'em down train coming to town. Um, but I mean, I really don't know what to say. I mean, they dominated all sides of the ball. Um, they had 2 turnovers went in their favor. Defense was able to get some stops, but I mean, they marched on that first drive. I mean, they kept everybody in check. They kept Micah in check. They kept everybody in check. I mean, they were just a error-free good ball team that night. And the Cowboys were not. And I don't even remember. I usually look at like the penalties and stuff like that, and that gets me, riled up and upset or whatever. But I know we had several penalties. But got down. Cowboys are not really a play from behind team like that. Not that far behind. So I already knew where it was going to go. By halftime, I had started looking at scary movies back and forth. I was like, Dallas Cowboys, or should I watch something else? But the thing that people talk about the most when it comes to this game is, the interceptions and things like that from Dak. And we'll get more into Dak a little bit later. But one thing I will like to say in general, when teams are down by a whole lot of points, you can bank on the interceptions coming because everybody is in a rush. Everybody's just throwing, trying to make the big play, trying to make something happen. And if you watch enough football, which we do, and the people who listen to us do, you already know that's what's going to happen all the time. And so that's been the big thing. But what people tend to harp on is what the last thing they see. What is it? Recency bias? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it goes. And then, it's fun to make fun of the Cowboys when they're losing and now they're a terrible team and all of this kind of stuff. Frankly, I've muted all you people. I've muted and I've blocked so many people. People like to see Cowboys fans miserable. They don't like to see us happy about anything. Any little modicum of happiness is like, but y'all ain't got no Super Bowl. It's just, shut the fuck up. My team just wants you to fuck up. So that's the only thing about it. But I done mute and blocked so many people. It was just another day for me. But I would rather not be embarrassed like that. Like if y'all gonna lose, let us lose by a touchdown, 10 points, even 2 touchdowns is still in the realm of respectability. But once we get past the 2-score game, now we're talking about being embarrassed, especially from a team that has all of the pieces that it needs to go all the way. It just ain't been going. So that is my rant. It is very, if my rant would have been a little bit different on Monday than several days later when I've had a good amount of time to calm down and to be reasonable. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't stay mad after 24 hours. I can't keep doing that. We move along to the last week. We ain't even halfway through the season yet, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely don't let the losses linger, the way that they typically do. I think for me, this loss did linger longer because the Ravens and the Steelers. Now I'm talking about my team now. The Ravens essentially gave the football game away, and you can't do stuff like that when you just can't, and particularly against a division rival, particularly against um a conference opponent, right? And so I think that's what bothers me the most. I keep hearing people talk about, oh, that's the rivalry. That's the rivalry. The rivalry ain't have shit to do with what happened on Sunday. Okay. It ain't like the Steelers on defense stopped the Ravens. The Ravens on defense on offense stopped the Ravens on offense. The Steelers didn't do much of anything, in terms of slowing down that offense. The problem is that you have drop passes, uncontested drop passes that were put right in your hands. There are 3 touchdowns that were caught. There's a fourth down that the center snapped the ball because he thought that they was going off sides and he thought he had a free play, but they,
And it was,
and so they were going to kick the field goal. Now they have no points. There's the interception in the end zone. These are things that are the Ravens and not the Steelers. And so it's very frustrating because you know that you root for a good football team, but they don't want to be great.
yeah.
And then we both can probably say the same thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
y'all don't want to win. That's okay. What I'm gonna be upset for? Y'all don't want to win.
right. So what the
Right.
fuck am I getting mad about? If y'all don't want it, if y'all don't want it, then I can't want it for you. So
Ain't
that's
wanted
why
more
I
than
go
you
about my days, the way that I do. And so yes, this one stung a little bit harder. It has been a very rough weekend for me as a
get.
Baltimorean. My Ravens lost. The Orioles got swept in the playoffs. It's been bad. However, you move along because at the end of the day, they gotta want it more than you want it for them. So what you gonna do?
Right. And we're
And
not
that's
getting
what
paid.
I
We're not getting paid. No one cares about our mental health. No one cares about our liver. Nobody cares
Nobody.
how we are doing, about the sleeplessness. No one cares. So if you might as well just move on. I mean, it just, like I said, friend, it is what it is. But yeah, we ain't have a good weekend, y'all.
Pray for us. If you're in the praying business, please pray for Sister Chels and Sister Rita. Thank you so much. We
Amen.
appreciate it. The Bears, they've come to life the last couple of weeks. Now, I know that they didn't get the win versus the Broncos the week prior, but then on that Thursday night game, they definitely found a way to, beat the Commanders handedly. And I don't know what's really been the difference here because the Bears have been through it as an organization this year, this season.
Yeah.
But I really feel like people do Justin Fields really dirty. Justin Fields is a talented guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he consistent the way that you like? No, but some of that is him. I think most of that is coaching.
Mhm.
But DJ Moore went home. He said, I'm home, y'all. Because if you don't, DJ Moore's from the area. So
From
he
there,
said
yeah.
he home and he put on a show for his mama who was there at the game and definitely put on a performance at FedEx Field. My favorite thing though, Chels, is, and you and I saw this on social media, people complaining about FedEx Field. People were posting pictures of the suite, the chairs in the suite. They were posting pictures of their views, which was really terrible. I don't understand how. I don't even who made the stadium. Dog. I just don't
I have
understand.
never. I'm gonna tell you, the chair part didn't, because I don't feel. I feel like Dan Snyder and I'm sure Commanders, Redskins, Washington football team fans would agree with this. Is that he did not invest in that stadium. He built
At
it and said,
all.
it is what it is. And so
Yep.
the seats, the cushion is coming out of the seats. If you sit on the seat, your leg gonna get cut all up and stuff. Y'all know how it is sitting on seats that are busted open, right? But that particular seat that was behind, like the angle where that person could not even see the field from their seat. It was like the stairs was coming down diagonal over the seat. What dummy put a chair right there? And like pathetic. It is pitiful and pathetic. And I hope that the new ownership is really looking into getting a stadium because that shit is embarrassing. Nobody
It is
wants to go
so
to that stadium.
embarrassing.
They absolutely have to. It is the worst stadium in the NFL.
Easily. But it was good to see Justin Fields have the performance that he had. And as much as we've talked about the Bears, because they have gone, 14 maybe straight games. And they were winless, and that was their first win, since sometime last season.
Right.
It was good to see them rebound and fight. Like I said, even though that they should have probably won the week before, but just to let the game get away from them. But it was good to see the Chicago Bears fighting back some, and they won handedly this time. Not even like, oh, they barely squeaked the win
Yeah.
out. They handedly won, so
They
you
beat them
could
by
tell that was just coming, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's good. It's a good confidence booster for Justin Fields. It made him feel good. Like you beat this team that you were not favored to beat. You beat them by 20 points. And it felt good doing it. And you was able to connect with your folks the way you wanted, your receivers, and y'all move things around the way you're supposed to, took advantage of weak spots like you were supposed to. And he should feel very good after that win.
I completely agree with you on that. I want to get back to the thing that you talked about regarding Dak Prescott. So lately there has been, there's a lot of athletes that have turned into commentators and analysts now. And this isn't necessarily about Dak, because there's multiple people that have also, done the same thing. But Dak has been I think the consensus of where you see this behavior, right? Because we heard Rodney Harrison, say Dak sucks, and then Dante Whitner turned around and said Dak sucks. And then the former running back for the Eagles, what is his name? He's at Fox. Sean McCoy said he's ass. These are the words that they're using. Rodney Harrison the week before tried to get Chris Jones of the Chiefs to say Zach Wilson was cheap, and Chris Jones was like, he ain't fall for it. You know what I mean? He was like, I ain't about to do it. He's special in his own right. You know what I mean? He did it the right way. But I have a problem with this type of commentating. And I have a problem with the fact that we have moved into this type of commentating from professionals. Okay. These are people that are on air, and they're supposed to have a perspective that is different than when I go get my hair cut at the barbershop. That is different than when I'm at the water cooler with my people. That is different than me hearing two people on the street having a conversation about sports. And yet it all sounds the same. So when did you get to the point of using jargon without context about players and not being professional about this? And when did the media as a whole make this type of commentating acceptable? That's the part that I want to know.
I agree with you. It's tacky. I felt it was horrible what Rodney Harrison said about Zach Wilson, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, what is that feeling? And especially since you saw Chris Jones trying to turn the convo, and instead of reading the room, and it shows Rodney Harrison's lack of self-awareness, he kept on. Like, this dude clearly does not want to engage with you and talk about a fellow NFL player and using those terms. Like, listen, regardless of how we see these people play, they made it to the NFL.
Yep.
They made it to the NFL, and these are professional men from the starting roster all the way down to the practice squad. These are people who are in an elite spot where they were able to be good enough to make it to the NFL. Now, where they went in the NFL, that's another story, but they were good enough to make it onto a roster in some sort of way. And, and just like you said, we look for the journalists, people that should be speaking intelligently about sports. We look for them to use intelligent language. And this is a reason why I like RG3 so much. And I know people say he corny or whatever, but he is very intentional and thoughtful in the things that he says. And then you got a clown like Dante Whitner, which I didn't even think Dante Whitner was a talking head. So I was very surprised to hear about stuff like that. You have all been on the field at one time. You all know what it feels like to have a really bad game. And then you coming off good game, you have a bad game. Now everybody sucks or whatever. And it's not the criticism is just not thoughtful. Like, You can criticize somebody, but make it make sense. And so that's how you get the Richard Shermans, who also doesn't make sense. That is how we see the evolution of Shannon Sharp, who went from someone that he was everybody's favorite uncle, and now he just following right behind doing whatever Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith say. He can't back up anything that he says. Nothing that he has any meaningful context, and he's just playing off this Uncle Shay Shay shit. And I'm sorry, he a big old clown. So like, what are we gonna? What do we have to expect? Like, and I've gone away from, I don't watch First Take. I don't watch any of those guys. Well, I will take that back. I watch Damian Woody. I watch Marcus Spears. They are not trying to get, sound bites. They're not trying to get sound bites. They're not trying to get go viral. And they're not trying, it's just that shock jock stuff. That's what I'm looking for. That shock jock, like, ooh, I want to shock everybody and make everybody mad and, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the way Stephen A. Smith performs after a Cowboys loss he should be embarrassed. He should be
mainly because you're a grown man. You're a grown ass man.
You are a grown ass man. And you are falling over yourself like a buffoon over a week 5 loss. Please stand up. So I don't know. We got to get back, and hey, Deadspin is on the people now. Once Deadspin drop an article calling you out, and then we're gonna have to put some things. So he was like, we need the real journalists up there, and it's okay. Like, I know that the celebrities are a draw. It is fine. I mean, celebrities meaning star athletes.
And the athlete, yeah.
But you need to mix with you. Well, maybe send them to school for what is it? Media presence?
There used to be a school that the NFL used to have a media school for these guys. I gotta assume the criteria must have changed, or they don't do it at all. Because
it must have been like Bishop Sycamore over there and closed the thing on closed down. These people are not learning anything. You are embarrassing. Go do a podcast if you want to voice your personal fanboy, fuckboy opinion. Go do a podcast or something like that, but take off out the group chat. We don't want to hear it. If I want to hear you suck, I will go to the comment section on Twitter, or I will go to my little 14, 15-year-old cousins if I want to hear your team sucks. Nobody wants to hear that shit from no grown-ass man. Stand up.
Do your fucking job, which is to be a professional. I think that that's the fairest thing that we should be able to say here. It's like, we're tired of y'all acting like the motherfuckers that we see online. We don't want that.
Yes. Like, I don't want to see all of that stuff on.
Come on, grow up, man. It's ridiculous. So anyway, we would like just a little bit of professionalism here. I don't think we're asking for much. It ain't hard. Well, maybe it is. I don't know, but we're just asking for a little bit of professionalism from the people that's supposed to be journalists nowadays. All right, let's get into these picks. I would just like to say I picked the Jaguars to beat the Bills last week.
You sure did, and I thought about you too.
Listen, because once I found out that the Bills ain't get there till Thursday, I said,
whatever.
What'd you say?
What is it? Nostradamus? Reetadamus? I can't play.
Because
coming up. Y'all know what I mean.
Once I found out that they didn't get there till Thursday, I said, oh, they're not gonna win that game.
Oh, what? No, I didn't know that.
They ain't gonna win that game. Okay, so Broncos and Chiefs probably will be played by the time you guys hear this, so we'll move forward from that. All right, let's get with it. So the Ravens are next in line against the Titans to play in London, 9:30 on a Sunday morning. What you got?
The Ravens ain't losing twice in a row. I got the Ravens.
I got the Ravens in a close one.
Well, because I'm only favored by 4.
Yeah, I got it to be in a close one. Commanders at Falcons. This is interesting because the Falcons are 3-2, honey.
Hey, they heard us talking shit because we stay talking shit about the Falcons. I'm the Falcons. I don't know why.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Commanders. The Vikings at the Bears.
Well. Justin Jefferson is on the injured reserve. And that is the only way I will pick the Bears this week.
Yeah, that offensive line for Minnesota is
Terrible.
awful and has been for quite some time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go with the Bears as well. The Seahawks and the Bengals. That should be good.
That should be good. I'm just gonna pick the Seahawks. No reason.
Hmm.
You know, with the
Yeah,
close
me
one.
too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's going. Yeah, look, I don't know who's going to stop DK
We don't
Metcalf
know
on the
which
field.
Joe is showing up to that day.
Yeah, that's very true. That's my problem. I don't know what Joe is making an appearance. 49ers at Browns. I don't think Deshaun Watson, aka Mr. Nasty Man, is playing Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter if he was. Now, as a Cowboys fan, the worst thing that I could see is the Browns beating the 49ers. I would be like, what? Like at this point, the way they beat us down, I need y'all to clean the board. So if they lost to the Bears, I would be embarrassed all over again. So I would pick the 49ers.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think it would have mattered anyway.
Yeah.
Although the Browns are coming off of a bye week, so but still wouldn't matter. Panthers, who have yet to be with a win, they are the only winless team remaining, plays the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go ahead on a limb and say today was Sunday is not the day that they'll be getting that one win yet.
Not this week, boo. Try again next time.
Moving along. Colts without Anthony Richardson, he has been put on IR against the Jaguars.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm
with a
gonna go
shoulder
with
injury.
Yeah, you said shoulder injury?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with the Jags this time again. I mean, not again like you did last week.
Jags it is. Saints at Texans. Texans getting a little groove, baby.
They getting a little hot under the collar here. I'm gonna go with the Texans. I'm going with the hot hand.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Texans too. Look. I don't know what Jameis is going to show up, dog. I just don't
You don't know.
know. Or is
Yeah,
Derek Carr even back? I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Either
No.
way, I don't know which. Either way, they both got a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
They're the same person as far as I'm
yeah.
concerned. Patriots at Raiders. Do you think that this is the game that the Patriots can finally get a second win?
I think it's the best chance they're gonna have.
I do too. I'm going with the Patriots,
I'm
even
going with the
though Mac
Patriots too.
Jones. Now I'm going to be the person that we just sat there and complained about, but this is the podcast, and we can do what we want on podcast. Mac Jones is booty ass, okay? Booty white ass, unwhite booty ass. Excuse me, unwhite booty ass. Now I can do that because I'm
Thank
on
you
the
for that.
podcast. Y'all can't be doing this on national TV though. It's different.
No, nobody won't hear that.
But I think that they'll squeak out a win against the Raiders on Sunday. Cardinals at Rams. They lost James Conner. He will be on IR. Still no Kyler. So Josh Dobbs is back there. What you
Yeah, I
got?
forget all about Kyler Murray. I swear I forget all about him. I'm going with the Rams though. I think that
Same.
I think they got too many things to figure out in Arizona.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Eagles at Jets.
Oh well, that should actually be a pretty good game, I think. But the Eagles will win that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't pick against the Eagles against the Jets.
not.
But it might be an interesting game, like you
It
said.
might be an interesting game, and the Jets are. I mean, the Eagles are only favored by a touchdown.
This is true. Yeah, and also we'll see.
Mhm.
Lions at Bucks.
Oh, I can't believe that spread is so close. I'm going with the Lions.
I can't either. I'm gonna go with the Bucks because they're coming out of a bye. So
Okay,
and they're at home. But I mean, to me, it could go either way for
it could go.
sure.
Yeah, it's a close.
Giants with no Daniel Jones, potentially no Saquon Barkley, potentially no Darren Waller, potentially against the Buffalo Bills. I don't know who I need to call, but I don't want to fucking see the Giants anymore on fucking prime time. Leave me alone. I want to be left the fuck alone. Okay,
You want me to find a good horror movie for us to watch together?
please, because this is scary enough.
You agree? It must be bad if you agree to watch a horror movie. So yeah,
Yeah. If y'all don't know, I don't like horror movies. Chels does. She always trying to get me to watch them, but I would rather watch a horror movie over this horror movie. Okay,
yeah, she don't
I
like
would
being scared.
much rather watch
That
fiction
shit
than
gonna be
fact.
scary on Sunday Night Football.
I would much rather watch fiction than fact here. So
Mm-hmm.
who you picking?
Oh, I had to actually pick in the I didn't know we had to actually pick for that. Pick in
Okay,
the
moving along. Cowboys at Chargers on Sunday night. We know that Chels does not pick against our Cowboys. I am picking the Cowboys. Chargers, they just too up and down for me.
Yeah.
I I think that this is going to be a home game for the Cowboys also.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely will be a
yeah,
home game. Yeah.
Cowboys it is for me. That is our week 6 NFL picks, and we will find out later how that goes. Moving along to college football. Red River Rivalry weekend was last weekend, and it did not disappoint. It is like one of my favorite games that I look forward to watch because it does not matter what team, what which either team is. It doesn't matter. One team could be ass, one team could be great. It is always going to be competitive. That is the one rivalry where both teams stand up and give us a show. It did not disappoint this past weekend as Oklahoma tops Texas in the game. And Chels, based on like the rivalry and like how we've seen this go, like because Oklahoma for the most part has been the team between the two over the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
They've been the more consistently good team. But Texas just like it's something about that game that Texas just be like, all right, y'all, we got to get our shit together, and they compete. So now that the it's switched, where now Oklahoma is just like a mid-ranked team. Texas came in number 3. I had a feeling that Oklahoma was going to pull this off because that's what Texas has been doing to them forever. It seems.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just glad that they have committed to keeping it really good. Nice early game for us to watch and everything. But yeah, I don't know how to describe it because, like, just like you said, like we don't have any skin in the game. It can
Right.
literally go either way. I think that's one of those things where one of those games where, like, even if one of the team like sucked, you could pretty much bank on that game being a good game. So,
Yep.
um, and now is this our last year having that rivalry?
No, I have to assume that that will be moved with the SEC because both teams are moving.
Yeah.
Both teams are leaving for the
Yeah.
SEC. So I gotta assume that that's gonna stay alive and well, right?
I hope.
But
Yeah.
it definitely is one of the games that I look forward to during college football weekend. So of course we gotta ask, is Texas back? Or did they regress a little bit? Or do you just say, nah, Oklahoma is also a good team and they just knew how to make it competitive?
I don't know if we can judge Texas being fully back by that game because that one, I don't know, because it could kind of go either way. We'll see how they end up after the next 2 or 3 games.
All right. So you're like, nah, I ain't ready to put that on them yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and wait to see how this goes. I ain't mad at that at all. All right, cool. I want to talk about Mario Cristobal and why he still has a job.
Unreal.
Because this is a fireable offense. If you did not watch the Miami Georgia Tech game, let me give you a synopsis of what happened at the end. They did have a sloppy game, Miami, but somehow found a way to come out with a victory, or so they thought. It would have been a victory. Georgia Tech had 0 timeouts. It was 30 seconds remaining. And all Miami had to do was kneel and let the clock run out. And that would have been the end of the football game. And so what does Mario Cristobal do? Say, run the ball instead. They ran the ball and they fumbled it. What happens next? Georgia Tech then scores to win the football game
with this much left.
with 0, 0, 0 on the clock. So I want to know why the fuck Mario Cristobal still got a job. That's what I want to know.
Especially since clearly he's not a lesson learner because he's done it before when he was at Oregon.
Yes, he has numerous times.
And the result of that, and I can't remember, it was versus Stanford. And the thing about that game is that it didn't end the game, but it sent the game into overtime. Which eventually ended with Stanford winning. But like I don't know, and he apologized for it. Wonderful, lovely. But I don't know what you were thinking. Like, what did you hope to do? Were you trying to score? Were you trying to score a game? Because that's the only thing that I can think of. If you're running a play, you are trying to pick up yardage so that you can score again. Did you want to like kick another field goal? Did you think like it was 30 seconds? What are you thinking? And for this, I feel so bad for the team. Like you saw some of the players on the sideline, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? That game, you are ranked team. You blew it to an unranked team. Like that can cost you everything. You don't get a lot of chances to lose. You don't get a lot of losses in college football. If you
you don't.
Because you have too many teams that will go undefeated and will get those top 6 spots, top 6, 8 spots or whatever, get those really good bowl games or the championship games. Like you don't have a lot of leeway. And here you blow it over something like that. And that's going to be something that will come back down the line to haunt them in some way, shape, or form. But I agree. Like you got to go, you got to go on out of here for that. And I think the only reason why he probably won't is because they are playing well and they are ranked and all of that kind of stuff. But like, a lot of ranked teams went down last weekend, man. I mean, it's going to happen all the time. You just can't afford to do something like that. And there's no reason for it. Like, what did analytics tell you? What was the little analytic man in your head saying? Oh, what do you need to score for? Y'all were up by 4 points.
And got away with that game because it was very turnover ridden for the whole game. So why did you think that was smart? I just don't understand. I don't understand how people have jobs.
It's unbelievable.
It's unfucking believable. Another thing that was unbelievable, Louisville getting Notre Dame out of the motherfucking stadium, dog. And so I think Chels has offered her grieving services to Marcus Freeman if he needs them. You can always reach the Gridiron Gals podcast if you need a hug. I'm sure Chels has that for you. But Notre Dame just continues to be who they are. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care what is going on. What they are going to do is underachieve. And that's just who they are under any circumstances. And people should just get used to this by now. Notre Dame fans got to get used to it.
No use getting upset anymore, friends. It
is
what it is. No use getting upset anymore.
I mean, Louisville of all teams. Like, okay.
All right.
I bet you can't name nobody over there.
Worry about them.
Can't name nobody over there at Louisville, but somehow Notre Dame got and they didn't even like lose. They like they
got beat down.
They got beat down. Another before we talk about the games this weekend, there's definitely a conversation that we need to have about USC, dog, because USC went into 3 overtime with Arizona, a team that is now 500. But they were 3-2 coming into that game, but not ranked. USC was 3 touchdown favorites, and we have to have a conversation. We're gonna have to have a dialogue. This defense is ass, okay, and has been. And I understand that Lincoln Riley doesn't give a damn about defense, but if you want to be taken seriously, Mr. Riley, you're gonna have to find 1 or 2 guys, or one guy on each level that can absolutely do something. Because you got 11 motherfuckers just running around out there for cardio at this point.
Where are you going without a defense? To a bowl game. going.
when they're out of the conversation, then we can know why.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You that not having a defense is not sustainable. You will wear Caleb Williams or wear him out because you rely on scoring a high number of points, and that's just not going to keep happening. And Arizona was not having it with y'all. They scored it like I stayed up as long as I could because Reeta had me running all through New York this weekend.
Oh, lies.
Kind of floozy, and I had one eye open, and I said, 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. I said, all right, USC, y'all got this. And I dozed off and woke up and I said, second overtime. And I didn't see the end because I was like, y'all, this is too much for me. But I watched the highlights and I couldn't believe they went to 3 overtimes. Like, y'all not going to make it. Y'all not going to make it keep doing that because you're going to
make it.
Wait till you start playing these others. You're not going to make it.
Not gonna make it. Sorry, you're not gonna be
also
there.
Explains why they almost let Colorado back in there.
Absolutely. They are. Look, they are who we thought they were. So, yep. and that's not gonna change. And then when and when they play Stanford, they'll find a way to try to screw that up too, because Stanford seems to have USC's number. So, yep. That'll be interesting as well. All right, some good games this weekend. The one that we are most excited about: Oregon versus Washington. I like to call this young man Stetson Bennett Light, aka Bo Nix, who has been in college, I feel like, for 20 years, playing against my Heisman candidate favorite at the moment, Michael Penix Jr. I am very excited about this game. Chels, what say you?
I cannot wait. It's on the calendar. I have made food arrangements. I have made arrangements for people to leave me alone because I will be in Virginia. Do not call. I'm not going. I'm not taking you. So I cannot wait for the game. I love like mid-October through November college football because that's when it gets real good. Teams start getting better. They clean up their errors, but you start seeing these good matchups like this. And this matchup is one of those things that I'm going to miss about Pac-12. And even though these Pac-12 games been coming on earlier, they're trying to prepare people.
Yeah.
But, if this game came on at 11 o'clock, guess who's staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch?
Yep.
Like it's that good. So if for you all who are casual, who are, rode the Buffalo in, this is a good game to watch.
Excellent game. Please check it out. Speaking of USC and Notre Dame, this is a rivalry as well that has been long-standing. They play this weekend as well at Notre Dame, and they are 3-point favorites. I don't know why. They ain't like they be putting points up on like that. Now Caleb and them be putting points up. So if that's what they fitting to do, they're gonna put up them points. Now I don't know why you think that Notre Dame can stop them, but we'll see how that goes. That is 7:30. So check that one out. That is the 7:30 game. Another 7:30 game that I will not be watching because I'll be watching the USC game, but 2 ranked teams. Cristobol, who needs to be fired at Miami, at North Carolina with Mac Brown and company. That should be good. So check that out.
It was one more too. It was Tennessee versus who was Tennessee playing?
Tennessee is playing Texas A&M. They're not ranked, but if you're interested, if you care, I think that'll be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah.
But that also comes on at 3:30, and I'm not watching that because the Oregon.
I can't turn away from that. Listen, ain't no multi-view this weekend for that Oregon game.
That slot is filled. That slot is filled. I'm not interested. So there's that. The 8 o'clock game, and you mentioned that some of these Pac-12 games have been earlier. This is one that's at 8 o'clock, and this is going to be a good one. UCLA is ranked at Oregon State. That comes on at 8 o'clock. So that would be a good game to go back and forth between that and the USC Notre Dame game. So
you can multi-view that one.
Check it out for you Colorado fans, because y'all do exist. They do play Stanford this weekend, so they will probably surpass 4 wins. Good for y'all. Whatever. Yeah. Who would we like to throw into the volcano this week, Chels?
I would like to throw in Baltimore's own Jada Pinkett Smith.
Why are we throwing throwing Jada in the volcano.
Girl, if you don't get out my face. I don't even know how to describe her fake deep ass. She is just, girl, shut up. So it came out today that is a part of her memoir that has come out that I know is going to be nauseating. That her and Will Smith have been actually separated, living separately since 2016. Now, I said that differently because I actually think living separately and separated is very different. I think it's hard to fake like you in love. I think that they just live separately, whatever. But also, I would like to come out the group chat. I don't care about August Alsina. I think that was predatory. You preyed on him when the man was on drugs and was down and out, and you used him, and then you start sleeping with him and entangled with him and whatever. And then you got the red table talk because you want to control your own level of accountability. So instead of going to a real therapist, you sit across the table and act like you helping everybody else. You sat up there and watch Will go up there and get slapped. Tell me something. You thought it was a skit, bitch. You know that wasn't no goddamn skit. And you know how he feel about you, and you know how you have been making him look dumb, slobbering over Tupac every year. And hey, I want you. Hey, you got to go in the volcano.
Yeah, I have a theory about why all of this is going on. I believe that Jada is publicly embarrassing her husband, who has privately embarrassed her for quite some time because he is rumored to have multiple white women as girlfriends. And I think she is kind of embarrassing him. And I think that that's where we are. And
I don't
so
think she's that clever.
Oh, I do, for sure. I absolutely think she's that clever. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I think that you don't give her enough credit, actually.
I don't.
Because I think that you mentioning that table talk thing is why. I definitely think that was a strategic way of her thinking that was therapeutic as opposed to going to a actual therapist.
You need to go talk to the lady for real.
Oh, she definitely needs to go talk to the real lady. She definitely needs to talk to the lady. But I think what we got messed up is that like Will is some angel here when it has been rumored that man has been having side pieces for quite some time.
Oh yeah, mine in particular was I don't have
You
I don't
just tired of her talking and you want us to leave her. You want her to leave us alone. That's it.
I want to take us out the group chat, and I want her all of this slobbering over all of the Tupac and the August Alsina and the entanglement shit. And she done created the word entanglement, got me using it sometimes. So now I'm mad at myself for using such a dumbass word. Like I'm just over, And the thing about it is like, and we give Will Smith a lot of grace. I think everybody, we as a collectively, like he's the good guy. We don't know what he does in his personal life or whatever, but as far as the actor, the rapper, the way he is, the way he talks, like people love Will. People were support. He went up on stage and smacked somebody on TV, and if that was anybody else, we'd have been like, oh, but we was like, well, probably deserved it. And hey, I still believe that he deserved it.
Well, now that we know, Jada coming out saying that, he tried to talk to her and assumed that they were divorced. I mean, I definitely am still an advocate of slapping somebody. What he should have did is close the fucking palm and close them 4 fingers and made it a punch. That's what should have happened.
Yeah, because y'all are in the same circles. You are all like Hollywood royalty or whatever.
Yep.
Like that. And tell me something, I heard y'all were getting a divorce. So do you want the ink to dry before you come call and tell me something? Hey, I'd like to take you out. He said, no, that's an opportunity. And Chris Rock, he is he has come out and say he is neurodivergent. So it doesn't, him not being able to have that level of self-awareness and to read the room type thing, that makes it falls in line with that. But hey, that's also not an excuse to do the things that you do. And that's why you got slapped down at the Oscars.
Yep, sure did. So Jada, please step into the volcano.
Don't come out.
And don't come out. We are tired of hearing you talk and we don't care. I just want to be clear. We do not give a fuck about what you and Will got going on. Godspeed. And for me, I'm throwing the people that had something negative to say about what Kayla Nicole said on her Instagram post. I don't understand what the issue is. Kayla Nicole is Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. She's not even the one that is doing all of the talking about him being a cheater, although it had been reported while they were together previously that he had cheated on her and that's why they had broken up before. But she has never come out physically and said anything bad about Travis Kelce. And then, he starts dating Flat Booty, and all of a sudden the Swifties is all up in her mentions and saying these things to her. So she did a poem, and the black men and black women are basically like, I can't relate to this, because you was dating that white man. Well, she never it wasn't like she was, just because she was dating a white man meant that she was anti-black. I've never heard her talk down about black men or black people like we've seen some people do in interracial relationships.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know why y'all were going off on that girl. I mean, a lot of the stuff was relatable. Obviously, some of the stuff was personal for her and it didn't apply to you, but the vast majority of the stuff that she said absolutely applies to black girls. So I don't understand why y'all felt some type of way about this. It sounds to me like you were jealous that she was dating him, and yeah, and so that now that he's not with her anymore, you're happy that a white man trashed a black one. I'm just very
That's it.
confused,
That's it right there.
and I
That
don't
is
understand.
that you nailed it. You solved the mystery. That is it right there. Like the vitriol that comes from some black men. I gotta say some because y'all get sensitive. The
And the
vitriol
black,
that,
but it wasn't just them; it was black women too.
yeah, I'm talking about particularly black men is like, see what you get, see what you get. And I'm like, well, they been broke up for a while and he started dating this super celebrity. It's not like he was dating a regular person, it's like this super celebrity. Clearly it's a marketing thing. Like by now I'm like, oh, this is a big PR stunt. I mean,
Absolutely, it is.
you're not interested in her. She probably ain't interested in you. She needs some new song materials. And I love the little TikToks going around and people making up her breakup songs for
Yes,
him. But overall, Rita, there is a feeling that comes up in people when black women assert ourselves, when we assert ourselves and when we are clear and intentional in what we're saying and when we big up black women. And I don't know where that's coming from, but those people need to try to deal with that. Why y'all get all up in here when black women talk well about ourselves, when we speak highly of ourselves, when we speak highly of other black women, when we talk about relatable content? Why y'all get up in here? Don't answer that. Go figure it out for yourself. But that's where it comes from. Whenever you see black women talk like, yeah, it turns into something like that. I
yeah.
actually didn't even realize what was happening. I saw her post and I shared it on my Instagram. I didn't even see all of I didn't know where the Kayla Nicole, because I'm so used to seeing her name associated with the whole Taylor Swift thing that I thought that's what it was about. I didn't realize that it was attached to that video. I was looking at them as two totally separate things. So I was definitely very shocked to see some of those comments and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was very weird, particularly like I said, it was black women that was like, I can't relate, child. And I'm like, you can't? I mean, because I definitely could. I couldn't relate to a couple things here and there, but the overall point, I absolutely could relate to. So maybe you ain't super enough. Maybe it's you, baby. Because
It might be
I can understand a lot of shit she was saying.
And I'm wondering if they would accept the message better if it came from someone else.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
So like, I don't know. Yo,
That lady
people.
just was posting. She was minding her business. She was posting her pictures. I mean, she was in a relationship with a white man. Okay, so what? She never was like my white king, and all of these types of things. She mainly posted. I heard men say, "Well, we never heard her speak," and that's how I know how ignorant you are. The lady was doing sports. She had a sports show. So you chose not to know what she sounded like. You chose not to acknowledge her prior to being with Travis Kelce. That's on you.
She has a degree in journalism from Pepperdine University. So stop it. The thing
Enough.
is, you don't want to hear what she's saying when she's
That's
speaking.
it. And now you're glad that she got dogged out for essentially no reason.
Right.
It's a very
And
weird
we
thing.
don't even know if she got we don't know who broke up with who. We don't know nothing about them people.
Right. We don't. We have no idea what's going on with those people. So I need y'all to seek some help too, because it's getting very weird out here in these streets.
Yeah. And you need to be okay with black women speaking highly of us. Because guess what? It's not stopping.
Absolutely. It's going to continue because we are absolutely fucking dope and it will continue to be that way. Anything before we go? Anything else that you like to add? Any final thoughts that you got, Chels?
Um, Girl, we had a time this weekend.
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh, we had a time this weekend. And people keep asking, I said, I can't even describe it. So I
What did they ask you?
how was your the secret restaurant, the secret place in New
Oh,
York?
yes, yes, yes.
So I just want to just because we're talking about friendship and camaraderie and things like that. And so if you guys don't know, Reeta and I and four other lovely ladies that we love very, very much have we done created our little dinner club, child.
Yeah.
And Reeta has named us the Wash Ladies Dinner Club. And if you ever see me post a GoFundMe link, it is because these ladies is too expensive for me to be friends with for a long term. So we started off hitting Baltimore and DC spots. We try to go to restaurants that most of us have never been to and do it like, all get together, have a good time, whatever. But for somehow we ended up in New York this weekend, and we went to a secret hidden restaurant. It is a hidden secret. It's hidden in Brooklyn called Habibi. And we were the stars there. If I may brag a bit, we were absolutely the stars. They loved us. They kept giving us food and drinks. The hookah was free. The hookah was free. What? We tried to smoke all the coals we could up in there. And we just had a lovely weekend. And I'm still kind of floating off that. And, ladies, y'all get together, get with your girlfriends, lean on your girlfriends, use that time. It's a form of self-care. And I had fun. I'm broke, y'all. Hey, no money. These ladies cost a lot of money. We ain't going to Applebee's. That you do got them Dollaritas back though, but we ain't going to Applebee's. But
so yes, if you would like to sponsor the Gridiron Gals podcast, please email us gridirongals09@gmail.com. We would greatly appreciate anything that you can give to help us over here.
So my final thought to close up, my final thought is I love my crew and we had a great fucking time this week.
We did. We had an awesome, awesome time. It was very, very fun. My final thought is I'm praying for myself, my friends in Baltimore City. We have had a rough couple days. Man, Orioles got swept, and they haven't been swept in like 85 consecutive series, dog. Like it was like the longest standing stat, and I don't know how long. Now, what's gonna happen is they're not gonna count it because it's postseason, but it counts to me. You picked the very fucking worst time to get swept. Because I synced it and it was bad. And then the Ravens lose to the Steelers on Sunday. It was very, yeah. So the last couple days have been terrible. If you are a Ravens and Orioles fan, I just hope it gets better from here, dog. Because what the fuck, man? I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm asking the sports guards to give me some mercy, just a little bit. I just want a little bit of mercy. I ain't asking for much.
You got to build an altar. You got to build an
altar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to build an altar because
you might have to sacrifice a Steelers fan at the altar.
Yeah, and the Orioles and the Steelers lost on the same day on Sunday. It was just, oh God, it was just one of the worst days I experienced in a very, very
it's as bad as my Cowboys got beat. My brother and my father text me and said, "Rita, okay?" Right now is
Rita. Oh my God. I'm sorry, man.
Look, we all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I appreciate them for checking in on me because they knew I wasn't. They knew I was down.
Especially my dad, because my dad was aware of the baseball too, and he's like, "Hey."
I'm just.
I said,
I'm struggling. I was struggling, but I'm gonna be okay.
You all right? You could be all right.
Oh man, we want to thank you all for listening. Of course, we'll be back next week to talk about whatever else is new the NFL has and college football has in store for us, and we're excited. So we want to thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Later.